Puzzles are for squares, or at least cubes. We're taking a quick peek at Cubot. Cubot is a brand of Android smartphones manufactured in the People's Republic of China. Cubot is also a puzzle game about moving around cubes. Developer Nicolas Pierre-Loti-Viaud, if I pronounced that correctly, went for a very simplistic design when putting together Cubot, for better or for worse. First of all, Cubot is a puzzle game for people who like puzzle games. There's no story, nor highly detailed aesthetic or anything like that. The game offers you cube-related puzzles and basically nothing else. You've got a rainbow assortment of cubes at your disposal to test your wits against, each working a little bit differently from each other. Blue cubes do exactly as they're told, while red cubes are a bit overexcited and move twice instead of once. Green cubes are mimicky little jerks that do the exact opposite of what you tell them, and purple cubes are the exact opposite of red cubes. The thing that makes Cubot rather interesting is that you control every cube in each level at the exact same time, regardless of how well they listen to you. The goal is simple: get the correctly colored cube to its correctly colored square in the least amount of moves possible. It's a simple idea that Nicholas expanded upon rather well through 10 episodes with 8 levels apiece. Every episode does a good job introducing you to a new mechanic that's slowly mixed with old mechanics as well as increasingly levels of frustration. Cubot keeps track of how many moves you make in every level, with the idea being that you finish a level under a specific amount of moves. Unfortunately, doing so doesn't really give you much. Every level you complete gives you a Cubot. Collect 8 Cubots, you can spend them on seeing the solution of a level you're currently stuck on. But you seemingly get absolutely nothing for completing that level under the move limit. The only thing that happens is a couple of stars fill in on the level select menu underneath that specific level. Cubots on their own aren't implemented all that well. Giving players help when they're stuck is fine, and it would have made more sense to reward players with Cubots for finishing a level under a certain number of moves instead of giving them one by default. But I'm not a real fan of how Cubot just shows you the answer to a puzzle. Puzzle games are all about figuring out the puzzle. Sure, hints are great, but playing the game for me or showing me exactly what to do makes me feel stupid, and just like the game might as well play itself. Along with different behaving cubes, Cubot also uses buttons and height variation to help change things up a bit. From what I've seen, buttons are only used for moving blocks up and down, and height variation isn't shown all that well. It's cool that you can stack the cubes on top of each other thanks to the different levels of height, and that does play into some really cool ideas for puzzles, but it can be difficult to tell what spaces are at what height. Cubot doesn't really use walls since it allows cubes to fall off of open edges, and that's fine, but there isn't any kind of shading or anything on the tiles to show you which ones are above or below each other. Cubot also has a very minimalistic aesthetic, and the white floor on the white background makes everything kinda blend together. Moving the camera around can help, but I chose to play the game with my keyboard instead of the mouse. The mouse controls the camera, and since I wasn't using it to control the game, I kept forgetting that camera movement was even a feature in the game. Musically, Cubot is minimalistic as well. Throughout the whole game, there's a slow piano tune that plays. I think it's supposed to be atmospheric, but instead I found it to be mostly forgettable as well as kind of annoying. Overall, I wasn't a huge fan of Cubot. The game does have some interesting puzzles, but everything is just cubes. Both the aesthetic and the music are forgettable, and after making it to the 6th episode, I decided to call it quits. As I said before, Cubot is a puzzle game for puzzle game people. It offers nothing more and nothing less. Cubot isn't the kind of game I would really be interested in playing for more than a few moments at a time, and that makes sense due to its mobile roots. Playing it straight for 47 minutes on Steam, I found it mostly tiring, if not a bit boring. If you're someone who likes puzzle games, you might get some enjoyment out of it, as Cubot can be clever at times. The game is also rather cheap, costing $1.99 on Steam, but I would suggest trying out the mobile version if you're really interested in Cubot. Thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think about the game or this video in the comment section. I'm MegaPieMan, and I'll talk to you guys later. I do appreciate from Sketchy Logic's writing is their sense of humor. Either JJ or his partner Sparrowson, who has the head of a sparrow if you were wondering, has something to say about just about everything, and their dialogue is littered with puns.